Hi everyone, welcome to another session of MBA Shala. So today we have come up with another topic related to verbal section, that is para summary, which is again a very important part whenever it comes to whether CAT, NMAT, SNAP or any other management entrance test. Okay, so let's start with our session. Before starting with this session, let me remind you that we have started with a new batches for CAT, non-CAT starting from Monday. So if you guys want to have any further information about it, you can just WhatsApp or simply call on these numbers. Okay. And you can also attend free demo by IIM Alumni on Quants. Now, again, one more reminder before starting off the session. We have already started with the 45 days CAT marathon, which is again an online workshop series in which you'll learn a lot of things about how to crack CAT examination, how to solve high level questions, how to solve them with minimum time, lots of short tricks and everything. Okay, so again, for more details, link is given in the description box. You can click on that or you can simply give us a call. Okay, so this is how CAT marathon schedule looks like, so that you will have a better idea that how you're gonna proceed with the syllabus by the time you appear for your CAT exam. Okay, one more thing before starting off the session, whatever question you people have related to anything in verbal section, whether it's related to any particular question or whether it is related to a particular section or maybe an overall how to plan anything related to verbal, you can simply drop your comment in the chat box. I'll take every single comment at the end of the session. Okay, so before that, let's start with our session. Okay, so summary. Whenever we talk about summary questions are basically the easiest one examination can offer you. Okay, so certain things we need to keep in our mind is passage is given to you. All you need to do is just check that which particular option is containing all the information. That's it. Okay. Now, on what basis we should decide that whether the information given to us is applicable or not? Certain things you need to keep in your mind while choosing your option. First, anything which is having any additional information. Anything which is having any additional information will not be a suitable answer, because something which is not there in the passage and we are giving it in the option, it means this is not the summary. Okay, so anything which is having the additional information which is not there in the passage can definitely not be your answer. Okay, anything which is giving you any wrong or contradictory information, it means something else is given in the passage but your option is talking somewhat different to the fact which is given in the passage. There are certain things which you need to keep in your mind while selecting your option. Okay, now how to solve the summary question? All you need to do is read the paragraph, identify the key elements and see that which option is having all that information in it. Okay, that will be your answer. Now, is it not really possible, that won't be a summary that you have 4 key elements, you have 4 topics with passages talking about, and you will have 4 sentences? No. What they will do is they will actually comprise those 4 key elements into one single sentence. Okay. So all you need to do is just read the paragraph, identify the information, and see in which it is given. Let's start with the session. This question. Okay. Language is an autapomorphy found only in our lineage and not shared with other branches of our group, such as primates. We also have no definitive evidence that any species other than Homo sapiens ever had language. However, it must be noted straight away that language is not a monolithic entity. It means it is not something which is having single aspect, but rather a complex bundle of traits that must have evolved over a significant time frame. Okay. Now, moreover, language crucially draws an aspect of cognition that are long established in the primate lineage, such as memory. The language faculty as a whole comprises more than just the uniquely linguistic feature. Okay, so till here we are talking about one topic. Okay, that language is basically evolved. And here we are talking about that, moreover, language crucially about memory, that eventually it evolved, and here we are talking about that it is not even having one single aspect. Okay, so crux of the passage is the evolution of language. over time, which was aided by memory found in primates. Okay, this is something, this is basically the crux of the passage. So again, I'm repeating. Passage is talking about the evolution of language over the time kaise hua, and that evolution aided by memory found in primates. Given it as memory. Okay, so let's see which option is having this information. Language is not a single uniform entity, but the end result of long and complex process for linguistic evolution. Okay, so yes, it is true. It is given in the passage in the first part of the paragraph, but thing is that it is not including the important part of memory. So it means it is not covering even half of the paragraph. Okay, so it means I'm covering around 4 lines, but I'm not covering around 3 lines. So somewhere I'm leaving around 50% of the passage. So this can definitely not be my answer. Second, language is a distinctively human feature as there is no evidence of the existence of language in any other species. Okay, so again, this is somehow, I'm not saying that it is fully capturing the essence of the first part. It is little vague also, and moreover, we have the strongest reason, that is, it is again not containing the information related to memory. Okay, so I can easily eliminate both the parts, both the options, that is first and second, on the basis of that memory feature is not given. It means half of the paragraph is not covered. Let's see the next one. Language evolved with linguistic feature, building on features on cognition such as memory. Okay, point of evolution given, which is there in the first part, and point of memory is also given, which is there in the second part. So somehow I am actually coming up with both the information. So let's keep this as an option for now. D says language a derived trait found only. Okay, I need not to even go further. I need not to even read the, I'm not gonna even read the entire sentence. Why? It says derived. It isn't derived. Okay, because language is not a derived trait, but instead an evolutionary one built over a significant time frame. That's what is happening. It is given here. So evolution and derived are two different things. Evolution takes time, and whereas it is not a derived trait. So that's why this one is containing wrong information. These two containing only limited information. Hence, C becomes my answer. I hope this is clear to everyone. If you guys have any question, any query, you guys can drop your comment and I'll take it later at the end of the session. Proceeding to next. Privacy challenged office workers may find it hard to believe, but open plan offices and cubicles were invented by architects and designers who thought that to break down the social wall that divide people, you had to break down the real walls too. Okay, modernist architects saw walls and rooms as downright fascist. The spaciousness and flexibility of an open plan would liberate homeowners and office dwellers from the confines of boxes. But companies took up their idea less out of a democratic ideology than a desire to pack in as many workers as they could. The typical open plan office of the first half of the 20th century was a white collar assembly line. Cubicle were interior designers' attempt to put some soul back in. Okay. So if we see this one, this part, okay, this is talking about that what was the intention behind designing these open plan offices. It means nowadays you see offices, earlier they used to be small, a kind of space, cabins were there and everything was there. So the intention behind having this open plan job, nowadays you are looking into offices that they are having a little cafe type interior and everything. Anyone can sit anywhere, they can work like that. So the idea behind having such design is so that we can break that social barrier. Okay, we can break that wall so that people will feel like at home. So that was the intention behind having these open space offices, that was breaking social barriers. But what happened, that intention didn't work, that didn't go well with companies. What companies did, they again saw their advantage They didn't work with the idea of this democratic ideology. In fact, what they did, they saw this as an opportunity that, okay, now there is more space available to you. So it seems, say for example, if you have to make people sit in a signified area, okay, now that will take you, if there is suppose a room and you have to designate a particular space to someone, okay, कि मुझे suppose 5 by 5 का area किसी को तो designate करना ही है, so I can make sit only a limited number of people, okay. But at the same time, if there is no defined place, I can make sit I can make people sit as many as I want. Like you must have seen in trains. Okay, अगर वहाँ पे हम जगह assigned कर दे कि नहीं ये place है, you can sit here only. What will happen? There will be less people. But now it is more like an open space, so anyone can sit anywhere. So companies saw this as an opportunity, and what they did, they actually start packing the people like anything. अभी तक जिस room में let's say 20 लोग बैठ रहे थे, अब उसी same room में there are around 30 to 35 people are sitting. Okay, so idea was to give them more space, to provide them with more this democratic feeling, to provide them with a more liberated feeling. But companies did absolutely against of this. Okay, what they did, they simply saw this as an opportunity and they started utilizing this space. Now, A says wall-free office spaces did not quite work out the way their utopian inventors intended, as they become tool for the exploitation of labor. Okay, so correct, what they planned वैसा तो नहीं हुआ. It did not quite work out in that way, because they thought that they'll be able to provide those workers, those laborers, with a better place. That was the idea behind this. But what is happening now? They are exploiting laborers. So both the ideas from here of here given. Okay, now next says, so let's keep this as an option. Okay, we are not choosing this as our answer, but only like an option. Okay, next says wall-free office space could have worked out the way their utopian inventors intended had companies cared about the workers' satisfaction. Okay, can this be the answer? First of all, I need to mention that what was the purpose. Okay, we are already saying that it didn't work, and we are basically missing the point of exploitation. They are basically, there's a fine line between them. So if I don't have any better option with me, then I would have gone for this. But here I have a better and more elaborated and more appropriate and more signified answer. Okay, so that's why I'm eliminating this, because I have already have a better answer, more elaborated and more appropriate. Wall-free office space did not quite work out as companies don't believe in democratic ideology. Okay, this is again missing a point, that what was the intention behind having such idea. So here, this part is missing, only this is given. So half of the passage is again missing here. So this cannot be my summary. Wall-free office space did not quite work out as desired, and therefore cubicles came into being. Okay, so this is again, exploitation is not mentioned. Moreover, even the idea of cubicle was included in this part. Okay, so this is somehow distorting the information. Moreover, it is not covering this part, that companies are actually, exploitation is there. They are, see this, pack in as many workers as they could. मतलब जितना हो सकता है, जितने workers को they can fit there हो रहा है. You must have seen in roadway buses, जितने लोग आ जाते बस आने दो. They don't see that, okay, there is not even space to stand. This is exactly companies were doing. So this idea is missing. Okay, it might be did not work out as desired. So maybe in some other way that have worked. But what was the outcome? Why it didn't work? That is not given. So hence D again cannot be my option. Okay, I'm eliminating C and D because half of the information is not mentioned here about the exploitation of the employees. And in this one, what was the intention? So this one is missing first part, and D may second part is missing. I'm eliminating B because I have a better option as compared to B, which is more appropriate, more elaborated, and more specified. So hence A becomes my answer. I hope I'm clear with my idea. Any doubt, any question? Okay, Sanjeev Kumar. Increase the people in same limited space, but we can't deny B. Okay, yes, of course, I cannot deny B, and I'm not denying B. So even if I'll keep B as my option, Sanjeev Kumar, I'm addressing to your doubt. If I am not addressing, okay, if I'll keep B, let's keep B also. So now here I have to go for only one option. I cannot go for both the option at the same time, because there is no such option that A and B both can be my answer, right? So I have to go for one. So not just in this case, in any verbal question, whether it is RC, whether it is not parajumble, whether it is RC, or whether it is out of context, or any such question, whenever you are left with such topics, okay, sorry, such options in which only two options are there and you feel that both are correct, so in that case, don't look for wrong one, because it might be possible that there is no wrong answer at all. So in that case, what you're supposed to do is, in that case, stop looking for the wrong one. Okay, coming to Manisha, I'm coming to your doubt as well. So in that case, what I'm supposed to do is, I have to go for the better one, which is here. Now coming to Manisha's doubt, exploitation is little extreme. Okay, no, it is not. Why? It is clearly mentioned in the passage, as you can see, pack in as many workers as they could. So don't you think that they are not looking for the convenience of the people, but they are just fitting people like anything? So earlier they were having at least a little space of their own, कि ठीक है, इतना असाइंड है तो इतना स्पेस तो मेरा है, बट नाउ व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, दे आर जस्ट कीपिंग पीपल लाइक एनीथिंग. अगर मेरा रूम का कैपेसिटी सपोज 10 वर्कर्स का ही है, दैट ओनली 10 वर्कर्स कैन वर्क इन दैट स्पेस. नाउ व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, क्योंकि अब वो ओपन स्पेस है, मुझे पता है कि इतना सारा स्पेस तो है, मैंने 10 और भर दिए. सो इन दैट केस दे आर बेसिकली एक्सप्लॉइटिंग, because it is given here that pack in as many workers as they could. So this shows the exploitation. Am I clear, Manisha? Manisha, am I clear with my thought? Okay, so I haven't received any comment from you yet. Okay, sure. Next. Okay. Anytime, Manisha. Okay, happy to help. Next, social movement organizations often struggle to mobilize supporters from elite movements in their efforts to achieve critical mass. Okay, organizations with hybrid identities, those whose organizational identities span the boundaries of two or more social movement issues or identities, are vital to mobilizing these constituencies. Studies of the post 9/11 US anti-war movement show that individuals with past involvement in non-anti-war movements are more likely to join hybrid organization than are individuals without involvement in non-anti-war movements. In addition, they show that organizations with hybrid identities occupy relatively more central position in inter-organizational contact networks within the anti-war movement, and thus recruit significantly more participants in demonstration than do non-hybrid organization. Okay, so if you read this particular question, there are certain things which I would like to tell you before going for the options, that there might be certain passages in which you feel that, okay, there is no such option I can see which is covering the entire one, okay, which is covering the information which is given in the passage. It is not covering all the information, it is not covering the entire passage. Okay, that might happen. It is not really a big deal. So in that case, don't get baffled, don't get confused, don't get don't get into that mode ki are koi bhi correct answer nahi dikh raha hai, so am I going wrong somewhere? No, it is not. Just stick to the answer and see that which one is providing the maximum of the information. Okay, might be suppose let's take an example. There are 7 key elements in a passage. Okay, and I cannot see even a single option which is covering all the 7 one. So no problem at all. It might be that no option is there which is covering all the 7 key elements. So it's not your fault that I couldn't find it. Whether am I going on? Don't panic. It might be possible that the maximum key elements which is given in the option may be 5 only. So go for the option which is containing 5 key elements. That's it. Your job is you have limited options with you and you have to opt for one. Okay. So in that case, go for the best answer. Go for the most appropriate one. There is no option which is covering the 7 key elements. So that's not your fault. Go for the maximum one. So don't panic whenever you see such questions like this one. In this, there is no such option in which entire passage is getting covered. Okay. So going for this, let's first understand the crux of the passage. Okay. Now, crux of the passage is that first of all, ये जो social movement organization, they often struggle to mobilize supporter from elite movement in their efforts to achieve. This is one piece of information from here till here. Okay. Now, second, here I introduce hybrid identities. Okay. Then I'm talking about hybrid identities only in the rest of the passage, saying that these hybrid organizations, those whose organization identities span the boundary of 2 or more social movements. ठीक है, यहाँ पे given है 2 or more social movements who has a hybrid organization. This is what I'm explaining. Issues or identities, okay, are unable to recruit significantly more participants in demonstration than do non-hybrid organization. Okay, so ye pura yahan tak I'm giving the meaning that what exactly these hybrid identities are. Then in the entire this part I'm actually covering that they actually get more participant than non-hybrid one. That's the only information I'm giving here. Rest of the information is simply the explanation. Okay, and explanation barely becomes the part of the summary. If you see, 2 options are given. Both are covering 5 key elements. One is having additional information. It means additional explanation, which is there in the passage, but not the key element. In that case, I'll go with this one, which is not containing any explained detail. Okay. So let's go for the options. Post 9/11 studies show that people who are involved in non-anti-war movement are likely to join hybrid organization. Okay. So first of all, why am I coming up with hybrid identities? Why am I coming up with hybrid organization? Because my introductory sentence is talking about the mobilizing of supporters. Okay, that was the point. मैंने किया that these are the organization जो struggle करती है, and then there comes hybrid identities जिनको easily मिल जाता है. So here I'm not covering the key element. I'm also missing on introduction and I'm also missing on this. This is just the part of the explanation which is there. So this can never be the summary. Okay. Now, next one says organization with hybrid identities are able to mobilize individual with different point of views. Okay. Key element is there. Different point of views because types of people are given here. So makes sense somewhat, not exactly, but somehow. So this I'm keeping just as an answer. Let's see if we get a better answer or not. Okay. C says movements that work towards social change often find it difficult to mobilize a critical mass of supporter. Okay, so this can be conclusion. Okay, but this cannot be summary because first of all, मैंने थोड़ा सा कर दिया. Even hybrid organization are those only who are working towards the social change. So I'm little too vague and too generalized. So this can be conclusion after giving some more explanation. Okay, अगर हम hybrid को ये prove करें that other social organization are working better than these, other movements are working better than these hybrid identities, then it can be the conclusion, but definitely not the summary of the passage. Because ये वो information दे रहा है जो given ही नहीं है. Okay, moreover ये movements की बात कर रहा है, ये भी तो movement ही conduct कर रहे हैं, but they are getting people. Then you need to specify something that okay, these are the type of movements who are not getting mobilized a critical mass of supporter, right? So this is too vague, incomplete, and distorting the fact as well. Hybrid organizations attract individuals that are deeply involved in anti-war movement. Okay, can this be the answer? Okay, let's see. But again, somewhere, but this key element where it was all about mobilizing the supporters. Okay, so keeping this thing in my mind, because it was about, my introduction was about mobilizing supporter, and then introduced hybrid identities. I explained what they are, and then I came to a conclusion that these organizations are actually uh, are the kind of organization which are able to mobilize individual. Okay, so despite this is also not an appropriate summary, but I have all the valid reasons to eliminate. This is not covering, whereas this is covering. So I have better options, which is B. So that's why I'm gonna go with B. Despite I don't see this one also as the most appropriate one. I don't see this one as the exact summary of the passage, but still I don't have any other option. This is the most suitable one. So that's why I have to go for this one only. Okay. So, okay. Any doubt, any question you people have, please come up with it. I'm waiting for your questions. If you guys have anything, not just related to summary, any query, any question, any doubt related to uh, verbal section, cat and math type of questions, anything. Okay, so I think most of the doubts are already sorted. So let's call it a day then. I hope you guys enjoyed this session and gain at least a little from this session. So that will be very kind of an honor for us. So for more such sessions, keep watching MBA Pathshala and keep practicing. Take care, guys.